Good everyone, you're watching Radio Fixes. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to fix Microsoft Store apps error 0x803f8001 in Windows 11. When you try to open Microsoft Store to install an app, everything seems to be fine. However, when you try to open an app or install an app, you might come across this error message. The download might stop, updates fail, and sometimes the apps you're already installed might refuse to open. This usually happens because the store cannot verify your account, or the cache is corrupted, or maybe the Windows files are damaged. Now, there are a couple of steps which you could try to get this issue resolved. Now, the first step to resolve this issue is to go ahead and sign out and sign back into Microsoft Store. To do this, you will have to open Microsoft Store. Once you open Microsoft Store, you will have to keep your Microsoft Store credentials handy, that is your username and password, because you would need to sign in back. Once you have the Microsoft Store open, you will have to click on the profile at the top right corner and then click on sign out. Once you sign out, you will have to close Microsoft Store, reopen Microsoft Store, and then try to sign in back. Once you sign in back, you might go ahead and try to download and install the apps you're trying to install and check if your issue has been resolved. So most of the time you would have this issue resolved. Now, in spite of this, if you're still facing a problem, the second step to resolve this issue is to go ahead and clear Microsoft Store cache on your computer. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on run to open the run window. In your run window, you will have to go ahead and type the command wsreset.exe, one word, and then click on OK. For a brief period, you might see a command prompt open, and then you would have Microsoft Store launched on your computer. Once you have the Microsoft Store open, you might go ahead and download and install the apps which you're trying to download and install and check if your issue has been resolved. In case if your issue has been resolved, well and good, you don't need to try the next step. Now, the next step to resolve this issue is to go ahead and repair Microsoft Store on your computer. To do this, you can go to the search window, and in the search window, you may go ahead and type Microsoft Store. You will see the best match for the Microsoft Store. You can do a right click on Microsoft Store and then click on App Settings. Once you have the app settings for Microsoft Store, you can scroll down and look for terminate. Click on terminate, and this you will see an option for reset. Click on repair. Once you click on repair, it might take about a minute or two depending on the speed of the computer to complete the repair. Once the repair is complete, the next thing what you will have to do is you will have to click on reset, then click on reset again. Once the reset is complete, you may close this window, restart your computer, and then try to launch Microsoft Store and install the apps and check if your issue has been resolved. So most of the time you would have this issue resolved. Now, in spite of trying all this step, if you're still facing a problem, the next step to resolve this issue is to go ahead and run SFC and DISM scan on your computer. To do this, you will have to open the command prompt in the elevated mode. To open the command prompt in the search window, you may go ahead and type command. You will see the best match for the command prompt. Do a right click and then click on run as administrator. In case if you get a user access control prompt, you may click on yes or continue on the screen. Once you have the command prompt open, the first command what you will have to go and type and execute is SFC scan. I will also mention this command in the video description. You can copy the command and paste it in the command prompt by doing a right click, or you can type it manually. Once you have this command, you will have to hit enter to execute this command. Now, this might take about 5 to 10 or maybe 15 minutes depending on the speed of the computer. Wait until the SFC scan is complete, or sometimes the SFC scan would start while you're restarting your computer. Now, in this process, you will have to wait until the command is being successfully executed. Once this command is being successfully executed, the next command what you will have to go and execute is to run the DISM scan to RestoreHealth. You will also see this command in my video description. You can copy the command from my video description and paste it here. Go back to the command prompt, do a right click, that should paste the command. Hit enter to execute this command and wait until the command is being successfully executed. Just like the earlier command, this might take about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe more, depending on the speed of the computer. Once this command is being successfully executed, you may close this window, restart your computer, and then check if your issue has been resolved. In case if your issue has been resolved, well and good, you don't need to try the next step. Now the next step to resolve this issue is to go ahead and re-register Microsoft Store on your computer. This will rebuild store components. To re-register Microsoft Store, you will have to open PowerShell. So you can go to the search window, and in the search window you may go ahead and type PowerShell. You will see the best match for the PowerShell. You will have to open Windows PowerShell in this list. You will have to do a right click and then click on Run as Administrator. In case if you get a user access control prompt, you may click on Yes or Continue on the screen. Once you have the Windows PowerShell on your computer screen, you will have to copy the command from my video description to re-register Microsoft Store. Do a right click on the PowerShell, that should automatically paste the command, and hit enter to execute this command. This will go ahead and re-register Microsoft Store on your computer. You will have to wait until the command is being successfully executed. Just in case if you see any error message, you may go ahead and ignore this error message. Once the command has been executed, you may close this window, restart your computer, and check if your issue has been resolved. Now all these steps should definitely fix the problem. In spite of trying all this step, if you're still facing a problem, the next step what you could do is you may go ahead and try to check and install Windows Update on your computer. To do this, you will have to do a right click on the start button and then click on settings. Once settings, on the left hand side you will see an option which says Windows Update, and then on the right hand side you will have to click on check for the updates in case if you have that option. In case if you don't have an option for check for the updates, you might go ahead and see an option which says download and install updates. Click on that. That should check for the Windows Update, and in case if there are any updates to be installed, it will download and install those updates. Once the updates are successfully downloaded and installed, you may close this window, restart your computer, then you may try to open Microsoft Store, and that should fix the problem. So all these steps should definitely fix the problem. In spite of trying all this step, if you're still facing a problem, I would suggest you to leave me a comment in the comment section so that I can come up with the possible solution. I hope this video was useful. In case if you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a great day.